Hey, what's up, guys? Lately, you guys are like, oh yeah, you guys don't make any sacrifices for your podcast. Patty, slow down. You guys don't make any sacrifices for your podcast or anything like that, right? You gotta be kidding me. You know what this is? This is the chair that we're gonna be using in the video that you're about to watch. Well, yep. Alright, yep. Hello. Hi. Yep, so that's about it, baby. Yeah, we'll see you in this episode.
Extracurricular
Activities, a podcast. Funny, my cousin was telling me the other day, they're doing sex ed with puppets now at school.
Oh boy. Puppets.
Yeah, they're doing it with puppets, and he was saying like how say like you would have a pig and a raccoon. I don't understand the contrast between the two. Why that's so significant that you have a pig and a raccoon. I don't understand.
Birds and Bees Part 2.
Yeah, and so he was describing it. Basically, what you have is this makeshift genitalia that's sewn onto the pig, right? And the raccoon and the pig are on the bus, right? And they're both chatting, and then the raccoon throws out something along the lines of, "Hey, we can only be friends if you show me
What's underneath the pants?"
It's sewn onto you, right?
That is so. Oh my god.
So like.
So many things wrong with that. It's not even funny.
Right there, right at that instance, they pause the presentation, right?
And they're like, "This is not okay."
And they're like, "Now this, folks, this is where you say
no.
No."
Just no.
And I'm like, dude, I'm sitting here, and this is my he was 8 at
8?
the time. While he's telling me this
For a high schooler, in my opinion, if I walked you in class and they were teaching health class with that,
if I see a pig penis, I'm leaving.
Yeah, it would be weird. I'd be like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, so I thought that was just super
derogatory.
Fascinating. It's kind of weird how they're doing education nowadays, but to each his own. And oh gosh, dude, he's so funny. My cousin, he speaking of travel, because we wanted to talk about travel, but
yeah, I get what you're saying.
They were traveling to Florida, and the whole family was going. My uncle, my aunt, and my 3 other cousins. And he is kind of an oddball, but I love him. He's not an oddball, but he's just crazy in a good way. And you know how you have to remove your stuff at TSA? You have to take off your shoes. Take off your shoes and your belt and stuff.
Yeah. For
the metal detector, right? So my aunt just to quickly say it to him was like, "Hey, take off your stuff," right?
Your stuff.
And he took off
all of it. I'm guessing.
Everything, dude.
Dang.
He takes off everything. So this kid's in underwear in the middle of bag check.
Oh my gosh. This is the same kid who had
my aunt flips her bean, dude.
I imagine. Wait, is this the same kid that had the whole pig and a puppet?
Yeah, same kid. Same kid. Yeah, no,
dude,
he's funny.
Kind of mad respect to that kid though for just undoing it in the TSA line.
Right?
That's kind of awesome.
It is.
He's gonna be in college or maybe later on in life, and he's gonna look back and be like, "That's awesome." That's one of those stories that his mom will tell at his wedding. That type of thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like it's with a lot of things where as a kid you do a lot of stuff that your mom initially wants to kill you for, but
later on in life, you're like
30 years down the road, she's gonna love you for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's super cool.
I kind of on the whole basis of moms and going against not in the moment they're all freaked out.
Yeah.
But later on they are like, "Oh, that was hilarious." It reminds me of a story of when I was in Hawaii. And me, my family, and I, all of us, we are big snorkelers. We love to snorkel.
Yeah.
And so we were in Hawaii, and we're at this one beach, and it was really nice. I remember it being very nice. And I, being the ADHD child I am, I waded my way off way too far.
How far past the buoy were you?
Dude, they didn't really have a buoy.
You're like, I didn't see the buoy.
I was, what buoy?
What buoy?
Well, anyway,
There's a buoy?
we're out there, and I remember I'm and snorkeling, I'm diving in and out like under the water, and
Yeah.
I'm just like going under the corner, and I was like, this is awesome. And then I popped my little head up, and I just remember like my ears are pretty clawed, but I could hear like this little loud, just kind of like, wah, and
Yeah, we
I
did.
was like,
I don't want to hear any more of that.
oh,
but
I'm
you
sorry.
did.
Well, anyway,
Siren.
it was a siren,
Okay.
and I just remember being like, oh, it's nothing, and but apparently what it was is they were testing shark sirens, like if there's a shark in the water.
Okay.
And no one on the beach was aware that they were testing it. So
Bunch of tourists.
so my mom and all of the rest of my family were on the tour like, where's Patrick? Where's Patrick? And she said that she recalls just looking straight left out to the sea and just like seeing my little snorkel fin out, and she just like her entire heart just dropped. And she's like, number one thing I remember is because I know you like. I like to dive, and she's like, I remember like seeing you go under and her, and she was like, my first thought was just, oh, he's gone. The shark got him. And I remember like,
Do you know dolphins rape each other?
what?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's terrible, but anyway, like, so that's going on, and I come back, and she's just like, what is wrong with you? Did you not hear the siren? I was like,
Nah.
not fam. I was like, what siren? And what happened originally, apparently, she's like, she started freaking out so much that like later on she literally went up to patrol, and she was like, my kid's out there, and the patrol apparently looked at her and was just like, dude, this is a siren, man. This is like not even a real test. And she was still flipping out. She couldn't understand that. But then I remember she's like, you cannot go out, and there's this like kind of cliff overdrop, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go out. So I took my snorkel stuff and I just jumped off this cliff, like this is like not a big cliff, tiny one, and I jumped off into it, and I'm like swimming through, and I remember my parents are like still wondering like, yo, like he clearly left again. Where'd he go? And I remember this is kind of thing that shook me to my core. I was going in and out, and I went and grabbed onto the reef, and when I grabbed onto the reef, I like looked under it, and there was like an entire family of eel, and I was just like, oh boy. And the eels,
Dude, I hate eel. They're so scary.
Yeah, and they like went after me, and I remember I got up and just swam like I had never swam before. It was so fast, like
yeah,
I could be an Olympian if I look back at it. I couldn't actually, but like at that time I was like, damn, I'm moving.
I feel like you have more than one story for sure. Based on the sound of that,
oh dude,
you sound like you have a pretty hectic family.
Our family's hectic. You know, like what comes to mind of like just hectic trips and hectic people was our trip to Costa Rica, and a pool. We were staying in a tree house, ton of homeless dogs, kind of cool. We fed them, but
feed them off the balcony.
Right? But anyway, there's a pool here, right? And so we're like, yo, we have to swim in it. So we swim in it, and then we go and we spend the night. And I walk out, and I remember this kid I met. He was some kid another way. And we look into the pool, and there's just thousands. That's a hyperbole to make a point, but I'd probably give or take 30.
There's like
crabs.
3 dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, not dogs. We're not in dogs.
Crabs. No, crabs. There's like 30 crabs in the bottom of the pool. And I remember this guy, he spoke no English. He comes up to us and goes, you like? And we were like, yeah. And he just handed us a pool toy, like one of those pool cleaner things.
Oh, yeah?
And he's like, go to work, man. So me and this kid, I think his name was Ben, we were just like, so we spent like 3 hours in the morning just shoveling crabs out with our bare hands in the tool. I got pinched a lot.
That's kind of a cool experience, though.
Honestly, I still look back at that as that being the most badass thing I've ever done in my life.
Are they like everywhere?
Oh, everywhere.
Because I know like
everywhere.
In Florida there's a bunch of lizards.
Yeah.
And we stay at this beach house, and they have like little water beds that they like crawl in and stuff. Mm-hmm. Are they like on the street and stuff?
They're everywhere. Like if you're driving, like I remember you like drive through like the streets, and there's so many crabs you can just like hear them crunching under your wheel.
Wow.
Just yeah, and a little sound reference for you. Yeah, but we're a hectic family. We just over the summer we were in Paris, and my mom wanted to go to this like trading market, which honestly, first thought sounded awesome. Yeah. And we were like, yo, this is gonna be cool. And remember we get there on this like, you know how there's trains everywhere through Paris. We get on this train, we get it, and I remember we come out, and it literally was this just like this market, and it was a sketchy from my point of view and the rest of my family's point of view. It was super sketchy, like sketchiest place I've ever been. It literally looked like there was like straight up people like cops walking around the entire time. There's like fire going randomly. It looked like a scene from like a burning SpongeBob scene or something like that. It was wild.
Dang.
But anyway, I remember we're sitting there and my mom's like, this is the wrong place. We have to get out of here. And I was like, preach, woman. I was like, you got it. And I look over at my dad, and you've met my dad. He's smart, but he's clumsy like me. So I look over and we're like, we got to get out of here. And my dad goes, oh, I got found us a way. And I literally watch him, and he just steps on into an RTD bus. In the most sketchy place ever. Just steps onto an RTD bus. And the entire family was like, oh my gosh, like, we can't go on there. So of course we fished him out through the crowd. No one spoke English. It was looked kind of rude from our point of view, like from their point of view on us. But I remember my mom. Then one thing that sticks out to me is she's like pretty open to everyone. But this is the first time she ever looked at me and was just like, "Yeah, we're staying by the cops." And we just tailgated these cops the entire day. Well, we tried to get our way home.
That's not the only encounter you had with cops, right? On that trip?
Well, it was not that trip. That was Paris, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, because you brought it up about cops. We're in Costa Rica, right?
Yeah.
We're chilling. Me and my dad, being the adventurous fools we are, we'd ride on out into the sunset on ATVs that we rented from the sketchy guy around the corner. And of course, being in a rainforest, it starts raining. And us being the like not very, I don't know what to say. I'm in the loss of words, but he's like, we're not very good at ATVing, so we can't get through like insane
not
mud.
Very outdoorsy.
Yeah, we're outdoorsy. We're just not good at ATVing. So we're like going through, we're having a blast, and starts to run. We get stuck, and we finally get our way out. And I remember my dad. I'm at the 7-Eleven with my rest of the family we met up with. And my dad goes over and he's like, I'm going to go talk to the ATV guy so we can get a refund. Because he's like, I remember setting this terms and condition that said if it starts to rain or anything like that, we can get a refund.
Yeah.
So my dad was over there talking to him, and I remember like we heard kind of a yell. And I look at my dad, and my dad comes in, and he's got like a bruise across his face. And I was like, dude, what happened? And he was like, he's all hectic, and he gets like this. And he goes, I just got assaulted. And I remember my mom was like, what? That's not okay. And I remember just kind of like sitting there just like, and I was really young. I was in third grade.
Mom's just like, that's not okay.
Yeah, my mom's like, that's not okay. Go talk to the security guards. And I'm over here just kind of like, dude, assault? I didn't really know what assault was because I was struggling. I had other things to worry about like dyslexia and stuff like that at that time. But anyway, I couldn't read the signs. Anyway, that's beyond the point.
Okay.
So my dad and my mom go back to our hotel. And they get the security guard, and like I remember we walk up, and there's this nice, very like postured guy waiting at the door, and we're like, "Hey, that guy just punched my dad." And
it was his employee, right?
It was not his employee.
Oh, okay.
It was just this random guy. It was the guy. It was the guy who worked at the hotel. He was waiting at the door, and we're like, "Hey, that guy just punched my dad." And the guy working in the hotel just goes, "Oh, he did?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, he does it all the time." Like it was nothing. So we're like, well, that's not okay. And he's like, I agree. And we go, can you use some security guards over there? And so like we literally got this like band of misfits, like just misfits, not shits, fits together. And we just like threw it together, and we all went over there. And I remember my dad and I stayed back with all the rest of the security guards, went over there. And I remember watching them like limp back. And it turned out the singular guy had beat the crap out of 3 security guards.
Oh my god.
Just random security guards. Just beat them up.
All of them.
All of them. I honestly think that guy still might be just chilling in Costa Rica, just beating up whoever he wants. Like, I'm not even joking.
Jeez, dude.
But like,
I guess that's how they do it down there.
Yeah, like honestly, my family has a bad run now for like backdoor things. Like later on in our lives, maybe it was 2 years ago. This is my last story. I'll let you talk a little bit more. We were in Mexico, and we went to Tulum, like the weird, like, you know, the...
Sure.
It's like the ancient structures.
No,
so there's a tortilla stand out there, like a, you know, cheese and tortilla, quesadilla. Golly, I'm struggling. Well, anyway, there's a quesadilla stand out there, and this guy, we walk up, and the guy apparently didn't have any menus, but he did. And we're all sitting there, and I remember it was really cool because they had these cool stools, and we ordered, like, 5 quesadillas, and we're like, they're so good. And honestly, quesadillas, you know, they're probably, like, usually $3. I remember getting the check, and because this guy spoke no English, we looked at the check, and it was $400 for these. Was
it in pesos though?
No, American dollars. $400 American dollars.
In cheese quesadillas.
Was
it worth it?
Oh, in my opinion, it was not for $400 though. But like we got like 15 quesadillas. There's no way it was $400. It was like I don't know. I'm not good
You
at
got
that.
15 quesadillas.
Well, there was like 8 of us.
Oh, okay. It still
And-
wouldn't be $400.
Yeah, it was absurd. And I remember my mom just being like, "We got took," and I was like, "Let's talk to him." And she was like, "I don't want to get assaulted again." That's this like she was talking about my dad. My mom didn't actually get assaulted, but my dad did. And yeah, so we're kind of known for getting taken advantage of on our trips. But
I actually have coolers
cooler.
cooler like stories kind of.
Okay,
not
go ahead.
not as sad. Almost
Give me the rundown.
I don't know, something that happened a few years ago was there's this place in St. Louis, Missouri called the City Museum, and it's a really popular tourist attraction. And I remember I saw one of the kids from my school, but I saw him in the bathroom, which was super ironic.
In the bathroom?
Yeah, I saw him in the bathroom.
Where was it? Where did you see him?
In the bathroom.
No, but where? Where was the bathroom?
St. Louis City Museum. Yeah. And like we
That's wild.
both live in Denver. We had no idea either was there, and we ended up meeting, which was super cool. It was just, it's so weird, dude. Like I met him
I know exactly
in
what you're talking
a
about.
museum bathroom.
I have the same story as you.
What?
You want to hear it? This is,
Depends. Is it creepy?
no, it's the same basis of you.
Okay.
So I'm in the Louvre in Paris, as like most tourists go. Like they go to Louvre. So there for 6th grade I went to Merrill, and
Yeah.
then rest of the year, rest of my middle school, I went to Hamilton. And 6th grade, there's a kid there, and I was really good friends. I'm not gonna name names, but we'll just call him P Dog. And I don't know, that's just a nickname. Kind of stupid. But anyway, so I'm walking through the Louvre, and I remember I'm going in the bathroom because there's like no bathrooms in the Louvre. Major problem there. And there's so many tourists all the time.
I don't know if I believe that.
It's the biggest, it's the biggest museum in the world.
No bathrooms?
There's like barely any bathrooms. It's the biggest museum in the world. I read a fact while I was there that if you spent like a minute looking at each like piece of art, they said it was like take like a year and a half to get through all of it.
Holy cow.
I called BS, but that's what my dad said. But who cares? But anyway, I'm walking into the bathroom, and I remember I bump into him, like this random person. I turn around and go, "I'm sorry," and it was this kid from 6th grade in the Louvre in Paris, and he goes, "Patrick?" And I was like, "Dude, what's up?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, how awkward is this?" So I saw him, and he went to the bathroom. I waited outside, normal things, and we walked around the Louvre for maybe like an hour and talked about it, and it was just one of those weird things.
That's kind of sick, but it's not as sick as when I remember you telling me at our high school, there's a teacher there.
This is bathroom story.
Yeah.
Bathroom talk with Harry.
You got that?
Should we do a segment? Start doing segments like that.
Sure.
Bathroom talk with Patrick.
No, dude, you gotta share that one because that was.
Okay, so I have a language arts teacher at my high school. Big fan of him. I'm not gonna name names. Really cool guy. Super enthusiastic. I remember one day I was walking through the hall, and it was after the period started, so no one was there. And I watched the teacher bathroom slowly creep open.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, who is this? And I remember this like long leg comes out there, and I'm just like, oh, it's Mr. Cole. Nah, it's Mr. Cool. Yeah, okay.
Mr. Jerry.
Mr. Jerry. Yes, good save. Anyway, I'm not editing that out, by the way. You didn't get the gist. Well, anyway. Mr. Jerry, he comes in the corner. I was like, it's my guy. I love this teacher. And I remember he comes up to me. We make awkward eye contact. He slowly walks up to me, looks me in the eyes, and just goes, meow. And
That's so funny, dude.
and just keeps walking. I just remember just being like,
I gotta spray you now. Because
why?
you're acting like a
I feel
cat.
like a cat? That's comedic,
It's
Harry.
degrading.
That is degrading. Stop. Dude, that's...
I think that pissed you off a little more than I thought it would. Okay, anyways, that's kind of...
comedy right there.
That's pretty immature. But yeah, dude, I mean, families are crazy. I think it's cool, all the stories that you can collect over time.
I totally agree, man.
I'm being, like, super intimate about it.
I know.
But...
well, you could...
No, dude, my grandma's a trip, I'll tell you that.
She is?
If you want to hear a little bit about her, she's a trip.
Really?
Yeah, she is. I love her to death, though. I remember I was a kid, and she used to show me the ingredients to a gin and tonic.
She wants you to be a bartender.
just so I could make her like cocktails, right?
Dude.
Brilliant, right?
Brilliant. You're the next party
AKA,
goer.
by 7 years old, I knew how to cut up a lime, and I knew how to proportion the tonic to gin ratio.
Really?
By 7 years old.
That's kind of the same with me, though.
Probably not, dude.
Really?
Probably not. I probably.
You thought you did, and you just
thought
didn't.
I did. I probably.
It's like an epiphany later on in your life.
Way too much of one thing or the other.
Dude.
But she's awesome. I love her. She's funny. She's always the goober at the family festivities. Like, she pulled up the Christmas Eve, in a Santa costume.
That's awesome.
Which is it's super
Dude,
dope.
every time I think of it, I know this is a bit off topic. When I think of a Santa costume, have you ever seen Elf?
We're not talking about Elf.
Dude, I have to bring this up.
Why?
Dude.
Is it funny?
Well, it's just such a comedic thing, dude.
Okay.
Remember when Elf is in the toy shop, and they're like, Santa's coming, and he's like, oh, Santa, and he freaks out? I always think of this, like, when he walks up and, like, Elf is talking to him, and this still applies to my life. How he goes up and goes, and this guy's talking, he's like, wait, you're not Santa. And he goes, this is the quote of the day for me. You sit on a throne of lies. I think that was bars.
Bars.
Dare I say it.
The sad thing about Santa is, like, I think kids are really quick to mature these days.
I totally agree.
Really quick to mature. So, like, my 10-year-old sister, by the time she was, like, 7,
Did she know? By 7?
I think so, yeah. Well,
oh my gosh.
I mean, she has 3 older siblings. You start hearing the wrapping paper going on in the basement.
Yeah.
You see a left out piece of tape. Like, you put 2 and 2 together. But like, here's my take on Santa and like everything else, like the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny. Dude, like, if those things were real, I'd be so sick.
Dude,
I'd be so sick.
So sick. Honestly, kind of creepy though. If I woke in the morning and saw a fat dude coming down my chimney, I'd be like,
there would be news about like Santa and stuff like that. How crazy would that be? How crazy would it be if those characters were real, those fantasy characters were real, and like the press picked up on it, and there's like a bunch of media about it. It's like Santa assaulted. So like I don't
assaulted.
know.
Oh my god.
Assaulted.
I feel like media though, like Santa might be a character. Him coming down the chimney and putting gifts out, social media could flux that anyway to make it sound like he assaulted someone.
Yeah, for sure.
What was I gonna say? I have a funny story about actually figuring out about Santa Claus. Want to hear it?
Sure.
So I know we went way off basis, but yeah, you guys want to hear it? So I have a twin sister, as do you. Way smarter than me, like maybe multiplied by 3. She took all the smart genes, I took the extroverted. But anyway, beyond the point, I get lost sometimes. So we are, I remember we're at Calore, and I remember what booth we were in, and I remember we're sitting there, it's like...
Is that a restaurant?
Yeah, it's an Italian restaurant.
Okay.
And I remember we're sitting there in like the far left booth, and she's like, we're talking, I remember it's 3 days from Christmas, and she goes, hey mom, can I talk to you? And we were like, yeah, and she goes, I just want to let you know that I found the letter. And she goes, what letter? She goes, I found the letter that had the font that sounded like it was from Santa Claus. And she goes, so give it to me straight. And she goes, is Santa Claus real? And right then the food gets there like the worst time. You know how food always gets there at the worst timing?
Yeah.
Food gets there. Like I could tell the waiter is just like, dude, what happened? Like,
right.
I remember he puts on the food, and my mom eats one bite of her salad, looks at my sister and goes, yeah, he's not real.
Alright, here's how I found out about Santa Claus, dude.
Well, I'm not done with my story, but okay.
Oh, it's not interesting. So.
Well, anyway, we didn't get presents that year from Santa, and my sister ruined Christmas for me. So yeah, that's the end of my story. Continue.
Start crying.
I literally almost did. I was like, why would you bring that up?
Put some tears in your eyes.
I'm not putting
Grab
tears
the
in
water.
Just...
No. No, so my science teacher, I did not like him in 8th grade. He, like, put something on a board, and you won't believe that this is out of a science class, but it is. This is who spoiled Santa for me. And I think it was 6th grade, actually. But he had up on a board, like, false hypothesis. Okay?
Oh no. Oh no.
And then under that were examples, right?
Wait.
And the examples were Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy. And that's how I found out about it, dude. And our class was livid. Livid. Like, it was an example of, like, a false hypothesis or something. It's like, this is not a theory. Like, he was proving that they weren't theories because they weren't justified by anything. So that's how he showed us that Santa wasn't real, and it was ridiculous.
Dude.
So.
Oh my gosh. There's two things wrong with that story. First of all, that's the way you found out. It's from your science teacher you hated.
Yeah, I know.
And second of all, that you didn't find out that Santa wasn't real until 8th grade.
It was 6th grade.
Oh, it's in 8th grade. I was like, dude.
No.
That wasn't not that
no,
that
but
long ago.
Honestly, like, if I could take anyone, if
Santa.
they were like, yo, you have 30 days in the wild, you get to bring one person, right?
Santa Claus.
No. Dude, I'm bringing my science teacher.
Why?
Because he was so smart.
Oh, he was that smart? Like, he's at Bear Grylls? He was like...
Yeah, he was going to go into forensic analysis and stuff like that.
Really?
And criminal analysis and fingerprint stuff.
Dude.
And, like, I remember him saying like, the coolest story I've ever heard from him was he used to, as a kid, he used to take matchbooks and he used to light a match and he used to throw it in this pond that had, like, toxic waste or, like, I don't know if it was, like, radioactive decay or something. I don't think
safe. Yeah, but continue.
And he used to throw a match in there, and it used to just blow up, which is super sick.
That's so sick.
Yeah, isn't it?
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of, like, forensic analysis, you know how hard it is to do that? Like, I was reading an article.
To be one?
To be one, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Like, you always watch TV shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Everyone wants to be one.
Everyone wants to be one.
It's because it's the middle ground of basically, like, hands-on, and, like, you're almost a public worker, right? Like, you're working for the benefit of society, but at the same time, you're not going and checking out dead bodies and stuff, you know?
Dude.
Yeah, so it's a tough position
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I agree what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like in the Army where you're still contributing. Like, if you're in IT or whatever, or like the Marine Corps or whatever, and you control something on the computer, you're still contributing, but you're not, on the battlefield. It's kind of that same idea.
Dude. Preach. You got it, man. I think you've got that on lock.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big thinker, but
big thinker. Well, because I see that our time is slowly decaying.
Yeah.
I think we should start. Well, first of all, let's talk to you guys about what we're gonna start doing
in the future.
First of all, we're gonna start posting more on YouTube. I hope if we get this. We're all out.
We're thinking we're gonna post once a week. We don't know what day yet, but we want to post once a week, and we want to do our episodes based off of suggestions in the comments.
Yeah.
Based off of topics that you guys want to hear.
Yeah.
So basically, this is really just an introductory to our at least video version.
Our video version. So there's 3 things that I have to talk about, and I might forget some. But first, honestly, we like the whole idea of putting in intros of people talking, like saying our name and talking.
Okay, good.
So every single time that if you guys talk about it, get a video of you saying, "Hey, XCA podcast," and if it's super interesting and will make us laugh, then
if it's super funny,
or just really interesting.
Basically, I mean, if you guys have questions, you guys can hit us on Instagram DM and stuff, and just upload a video of you guys saying extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Shouting us out. And then we will put that at the beginning of our weekly videos.
Yeah.
So you guys, even if you don't get it one week, you still have a chance in the next week. But just make it interesting, and you might have the chance to be at the beginning of our video. So.
And then my second thing is if you guys have an insane story, because what me and Harry are gonna start doing is every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We have someone we interview. I think we talked about that, right?
Yeah. So every other week.
Yeah. So every other week. So if you guys have an insane story, not something that will just bore us, but actually make us laugh or just be like, dang, that really happened.
So I'll give you an example of what we don't want to hear. Is it VSMR or what's the eating?
It's mukbang. That's the Japanese. ASMR.
So ASMR. So the other day I had these chicks walk up to me and they were like, "Can we eat carrots on your podcast and chew into the microphone and talk about high school drama?" And I'm like, "No, dude, you're not gonna eat freaking lettuce. You're not gonna eat lettuce on my podcast and speak in my microphone. Nobody wants to hear that.
No one wants to hear it."
On the other hand, we have a friend who is witnessed who was like in a bank robbery. He wasn't involved in it, but he was at the bank.
That's what we want to hear.
We want to hear like stuff like that.
That's what we want to hear.
We want to hear like stuff like that.
Yeah, we want to hear something that will make us be like, dang. But my third thing is something we're gonna just do right now too. We're gonna start a thing where we just start at the end of every podcast we do tweet of the week, right?
Sure.
So I said we do tweet of the week, and then I kind of thought about this. It just I really like I don't know. You can take your basis right now on this. I just came up with this while we were talking. It's kind of like talk of the week, you know? Something that either it's emotional or like an idea or beef or a legend you've heard or anything like that. Just talk of the week. So tweet and talk.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. Tweet and talk.
T's.
TT.
So I think you're gonna kick her off because I'm.
Can I use your phone? Because we're using mine right now. Because I know you have the one I want. Before I like really get into it, so Barstool Sports. Many people have heard of it. Big fans. I am. I don't know about you, Harry. Big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Those guys.
Well, anyway, the guy who runs is named Dave. I think it's either Portnoy or Pornoy. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's not good. But anyway, I think it's Dave Portnoy. And he has been kicked out of like a ton of Super Bowls, and Barstool Sports has been literally been like they're not allowed to go anymore. So him being the cool guy he is
To the Super Bowl.
He's been kicked out because of
Or any NFL outing.
No, it's just the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They said that he can't go because they can't go because it's like they hijack it. So then, being the smart people they are, they took their people and dressed them up as FBI people, and then got fake badges. It's snuck into the NFL Super Bowl
Press
conference, and they just went in because they're all from Boston, so they just went in on the LA Rams, just made them feel so bad about themselves. And Roger Goodell, that's his name. He's the commissioner of the NFL. He was talking about like just everything, and this guy Dave Portnoy, the guy who created Barstool Sports, hates him. So my tweet of the week has to be Dave Portnoy and his ideas on Goodell.
What does it say, Patty?
He says, talking about Goodell, he is one of the dumbest humans who's ever lived. He's a rock. He has no brain. It's like an old Atari game, just bouncing back and forth. There is no win for when you hassle us. There is no win. If you put cuffs on us, we go to jail. It is a national media story.
And that's the guy from Barstool.
That's the guy from Barstool talking about Goodell. First of all,
dude, press conferences.
Greatest metaphor of all time talking about Atari. And then second of all, it's kind of this is what I was thinking, genius business idea. Awesome business idea. To go into the NFL, get kicked out. He got arrested.
He wore a Barstool shirt.
Well, that's not. No, he didn't wear a Barstool. The Sean Payton, the coach of the Saints, wore a Barstool shirt underneath his thing because of the whole no call. But anyway, that's for another time. But anyway, he got kicked out, and I was like, for being a social media company, and like all of that, to be kicked out of a game on social media, like, and everyone can see it, and get his name out there, to say, that was the guy kicked from the Super Bowl press conference. Genius.
I'm a firm believer that,
like,
for the most part, all press is good press.
All press is good press.
So I think that's what he was kind of trying to do there.
Yeah.
Anything that we want to end on?
You don't have a tweet?
No.
Okay. The tweet I was kind of thinking of, I have one more, is I saw this tweet, and it was a mom, and she was talking about how sad, she was baffled when she found that her 19-year-old got vaccinated and her family is anti-vax. And the funniest thing about it was she was like, how dare she? She was like going off. She's like, if she didn't get vaccinated, she's going to get sick and she's going to die from vaccination. And the crazy thing about it was the amount of moms that are also part of the anti-vax movement below who were just like agreeing with her. And one of them said this. I will always remember this. She goes, "Wait till your daughter gets sick and dies from the vax, then she'll learn."
Wow.
I was like, and the mom was like, "Yeah, you're right." The mom and the daughter.
Jeez.
It's like.
That's a good note to end on. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for watching.
So this has been Extracurriculars podcast, and I'm Patrick, by the way, and this is my co-host
Harry, not Louis.
Yeah,
Thanks,
okay.
guys.
We'll see you, boys.